And this is a photograph of the cutting that I took round about 1970, something like that, or the early 70s. This is Brewerton Road and Clarkesfield Road, and you can see there that the hoarding that was there is still there today. So you can see clearly how deep the cutting was. I've just walked along that line at the back on the other side of the bridge there, and where I'm actually taking this photo from is the next step that we're going to take along the line towards Lees. So there's a good example of how it's been filled in over the years. So moving on from the bridge now, there would have been a huge cutting down here, and the line follows through in this direction now, going towards Leeds Station. So I'm quite a decent height above the track bed as it was originally. A nice winding road, which would have been a perfectly straight track in the day. So there's another bridge there, so the track would have gone under the bridge, and we'll take a look at the bridge and what's left of it from here. Oh, it's pretty well intact, look. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? So the line would have been coming under here, and that's where we just walked from. Would have been a lot deeper than that, of course. That was strange. A fellow just stopped me in his car. He said, "You're doing a great job." He thought I was complaining about all the litter and rubbish around here. Doesn't know I'm into railways. He had a long talk with me. He said, "Do you want any help? I live at the first house there." So he thinks I'm here on a clean-up scheme. I'm not. I'm following the track bed. He said they're throwing bin bags here, there and everywhere. He wasn't a very happy camper, that man. I maybe get the sun in the way here a little bit, but there was the bridge, and I'm back on this road now. You can see the fence in there. I don't think this tree would have been here in the day. That's just what happens after 60 years or so. You get massive trees like this grown. It's actually quite a nice walk, this. I'm getting my exercise in for the day as well. So obviously this incline I'm going down now is because of all the infill that's gone in under the bridge. So when I get down to the level there, that would have been probably the level of the track bed. And this is where it levels out now. If I turn round, you'll see the incline. That's all been filled in, that, to go under the bridge. The road bridge, I should say. These are all new houses at the side now. I wouldn't imagine these newly built brick houses would have been around when the railway was running. So we plod on. I'm almost tempted to make the sounds of a train when I go along these things. Nostalgia's a great thing, isn't it? Turning into quite the exercise walk, this now. and it's a nice day. Got another downward incline here now. The reason for that, obviously, there was a bridge here. Oh, I know this area. I actually used to live in that house there. That used to be my house. So this is Wellyhole Street. And I remember this bridge. That's why we're coming down here now, because of the bridge. It was a railway overbridge. Long gone, but you can still see the stone here, which would have been part of the bridge. All this stonework here. And same with this stonework here. So you can see how much it drops there. So that was the trackbed level up at the top. Now I'm going across the road to pick up the line on the other side. Just have a look at this point of interest here. Bank top. There used to be a bank top mill here. It's now a nature park. It runs from Waterhead to Holts, following the River Medlock. So I'm going through where no horses are allowed. And we're going up the incline now to bring us back up to the trackbed level, caused now by the absence of a railway overbridge. This would have been quite a picturesque little track to come along. Double tracked, of course. And this takes us along to Lees Station, and a very important place for me, the site of Lees engine shed. Quite the little nature walk now. Where do these paths lead off to? That goes to Waterhead down there. And this one, that path leads to Lees Road, which is the main road through Lees. And we're heading, as it says there, to Lees. It's a very quiet day as well. Can just hear my feet tramping over the shale. Working my way along to the station. Here we have a railway structure. Little bridge, look. Little wall there with a parapet on, one at the other side, and it's a little tunnel that goes through. See it? Marvellous, isn't it? We'll carry on. I just love things like that. I like the way they're built and everything. They're going to be there forever, aren't they? There's a novel use for a couple of old sleepers there, look. make them into a bench. Mind you, that's seen better days, hasn't it? Anyway, onwards and towards the station we go. We're not far off now, it's just round the corner actually, where that road, this little track bed turns. That brings us to the station. Just coming into view now is the bridge at St John Street, Leeds. Those two houses, one of them used to be a public house way back in the day. This is an area that I know quite well. In fact, I know it very well. Beautiful elliptical arch there. This used to be just on the other side of this railway bridge. This used to be Leeds Station, and the platforms actually extended under this bridge. There was one platform at this side, and there used to be a bridge number on this parapet. I don't see any evidence of it now, or it could be lower down, because this track bed was probably about 6 foot lower than this. The other platform was on this side, and I did mention that I know this area very well because it's the first time I came when I started my train spotting. I came down here as a kid. Look at that fantastic bridge there. Came down here as a kid and I went to Lee's engine sheds, and that's where I first got chased out of an engine shed. This was the site of the station. If you want to see it in depth, if you go to my video entitled Lee's Station and Engine Shed, there's quite a lot of them. There's a series showing how I constructed it, and it gives it all in detail, and I've done as well as I can with a replica of the original setting. I just had a little bit of leeway with one thing. This was Lee's Station when it was coming to the end of its life. You can see the roof slates there are pretty deteriorated, but you can see in the distance the two houses I mentioned as well. And this was a view of the station looking towards Glodwick Road Station. Where the bridge is there, if you carry along St John Street, there is a stone pillar at the end, which was the gate post for the path that led into the shed. So there was a path came all the way down here, and the shed was over in this area over here. So that's where I first did my first ever bout of train spotting. The station was a really fantastic station actually, and it had a footbridge over it and everything. And if I just come up here, I think the remnants of the goods yard are still here. Oh yeah, the cobbles are still there, see? This was leading down into the goods yard. And this building just on the side here, which you can just see the little gable end there, believe it or not, that was the stables for the horses that used to work for the railway. So it was an LNER railway. This goods yard was massive down here. This is Lee's engine shed. It was coded 26E, and this is where my interest in railways first began. As you can see here, we caught it on a very quiet day. There's only a few engines around, but most days were a very busy shed. It was the only one on the Delph Donkey line. The next nearest was Newton Heath, which was 26A, but that was some distance away towards Manchester. So this was a very busy shed. It kept all the locos for the shunting at Oldham mumps and everything always maintained there at this shed.